Hi everybody, this is Dara, and the number one question that I get asked, I think, is basically how do you stay raw? What do you do to keep yourself raw in this busy world? And I went back in the Rolodex in my head and I remembered that when I first went raw, I figured out how to make hummus, because hummus is something, a no-bean hummus, that you can keep in your refrigerator for up to about 5 days in a glass container. So I got the recipe from my friend Matt Samuelson, who I think was the first person to come up with a raw recipe for hummus. And it's basically no bean. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a no bean hummus. Why no bean? Beans basically have a starch and a protein in each bean, which makes them harder to digest, which also might make you bloated. So when you make the no bean hummus, you get all the flavor and none of the bloating, and it's something wonderful to snack on all the time, and it's really easy. So I'd like to show you how what the ingredients are. We're going to be using olive oil, a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We're going to be using organic and alive. It's raw sesame tahini, Living Tree Community Foods. And I am using 3/4 cup of the tahini. Then I soaked 3/4 cup of sesame seeds for 2 hours and drained. We'll be using Himalayan salt, 4 teaspoons of the salt, 2 zucchini. We'll be using a 1/2 cup of lemon juice, and we have here the sea salt. I put in cumin. I put in a teaspoon of cumin. It has paprika, 1 1/4 teaspoons of paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne to give it a little punch. Now it's really interesting. You'll see other no-bean hummus recipes where people peel the outside of the zucchini to keep it light. But I once talked to Matt about it and he said, why do that? Because the skin has a lot of nutrients. So zucchini has a lot of folate and magnesium, and an amazing long list. You can look it up. It has so many wonderful properties that we like to use the whole thing. And what he said to do is just add more paprika, so the red balances out the green and it becomes a kind of browner color. And that works for me. I love his hummus. The one thing I did leave out was 10 cloves of garlic, and these are large, so I used a little bit less than 10. So now all we do, we're ready. We're going to just, what I want to show you is, some people use a hand citrus squeezer, citrus juicer, but I really like this one. I think it's about $30, and it really gets a lot of the juice out of the lemon. So you just hold it like this and press down, and then it also, when you lift up and you do it the right way, it'll go in the other direction, and it gets all of the juice out of this lemon, way more, if you see that, way more than you would get from a hand squeezer. Plus, if you wanted to make some kind of sorbet or ice cream, you could keep these and serve them in here. Just slice off the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some more. And so really, to stay raw, what I'm recommending to people is that what you do is you figure out the things that you really like to eat cooked. And you Google recipes and you ask me, and you find out how to make the things that you like raw, because you can get pudding textures, you can get hummus texture, you can get crunchy textures with crackers, you can make chips out of sweet potato or zucchini, you can have pasta with zucchini and kelp noodles. So if there's certain favorite foods, you find out, you figure out what they are, and you figure out how to make them raw. You don't have to do everything. So much lemon juice, and for the organic lemons, you really want to get as much as you can out of there. You never know. And you know the funny thing about raw food is I hardly ever give recipes, because I just like to play, and you can taste it for yourself and see if you need more lemon juice or more olives, if you want to add more pepper. So you don't really need to follow recipes so exactly with raw food. But there are some people out there who like to have the exactitude so that they know they're doing it correctly. So once you do it correctly, then you just do it yourself when you play. Okay, that's it. This is going to be enough lemon juice. There we go. Okay, so first I'm going to put in the Cuisinart, the zucchini. The two things that go last are the tahini and the sesame seeds. So in goes the garlic, in goes the lemon juice, in goes all the seasonings, in goes the olive oil. And then we're going to blend it up, and we'll add the sesame seeds next and the tahini last. sometimes, what I do sometimes, just a trick, if you find that it's a little bit watery and not as thick as you'd like, then what I do is I take the zucchini and I chop up the zucchini and squeeze out some of the water. After I'll blend the zucchini first, take it out and just drain some of the water out so you can get a thicker. Sometimes it comes out a little bit more like dressing. So if you want thicker, you add a little more tahini, or you first squeeze out some of the water out of the zucchini. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in the sesame seeds that I soaked for 2 hours and drained. Now this is the kind of thing, if you're on a really clean and detoxing diet, we don't do too many seeds and tahini. But I'm really trying to give everyone how I went raw, which is I like to have some seeds and nuts, and I'm very thankful that I had all those wonderful recipes in my life, because it really does help you get away from the poorer cooked choices or the things that aren't raw. So as long as it's raw, it's good in the beginning, and eventually you're going to get to more greens, less of the comfort foods. But I think that the comfort foods are what help you get through your what they call addiction to raw food. I mean, to cook food. So here we are. Now I'm addicted to raw food. And see, it looks grainy still, so it'll need some more time. So I'm going to put the tahini in, and I'm going to leave it running for a little bit. And I hope you can stay tuned. Okay, so now I've decided to bring the Vitamix in because I want the mixture to be creamier. There are many times when I make this no bean hummus just in the Vitamix, so you can do that. If you don't mind it a little bit with more texture, then go ahead and leave it in the Cuisinart. But right now I'm going to get it a little bit finer, creamier. So now I'm going to show you, I might need to show you the trick that happens when you have something thick in your Vitamix, what you do to keep it from getting stuck. But let's see. Here you can show them the levers here. You just want to go, you turn it on when it's all the way on low and the variable speed is low, and then you gently turn it up. Like that, and the vortex isn't happening because that's how the Vitamix works, you can actually take open the top of this and turn it up, and what you want to do is use the spatula to create the vortex. Wooden bowl. It's nice to keep in a glass container in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. You can snack on it yourself, or this is a wonderful party food served with crudité. So what I do is I sprinkle a little bit of paprika on the top, a little bit of olive oil on the top of here, and then a little bit of parsley, like that. And there you have it. And I'm going to actually try how it tastes. Okay, ready? That's delicious. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys soon.